This is Speak On It.
This is the most important and crucial period of your lives, for what you do now and what you decide now at this age may well determine which way your life shall go. Now each of you is in the process of building the structure of your lives. And the question is whether you have a proper, a solid, and a sound blueprint. Number one in your life's blueprint should be a deep belief in your own dignity, your own worth, and your own somebodyness. Don't allow anybody to make you feel that you are nobody. Always feel that you count. Always feel that you have worth in your life's blueprint.
What's up, what's up? I'm the host, The Life Changer. This is Speak On It. This right here is season 2, episode 1. I got my guys at the table. It's the Black Man Table Talk. What can I say? You know what I'm saying? I got my fellas here. We gonna give some good dialogue. We gonna talk about some things, man. But first, before we get into it, I just want to give a shout out to Urban K-Life. They doing great things in the community. Off on St. Louis Avenue in Prairie. They reaching out to the youth, going inside the schools, and they grabbing youth and taking their attention from the streets and taking their attention from things that they could be getting themselves into, not being educated in them type of areas. So, man, shout out to Urban K-Life. Y'all doing great. Y'all doing great things, man. So, look, what's up, man? What's up, fellas? What's on y'all mind? What's on y'all heart? What's on y'all mind? What's on y'all heart? I wanna talk about. We're gonna dive right into the serious part because this episode is emotional for me. Like I feel some type of way just because of what we're going through. You know what I'm saying? And all y'all black strong men, and y'all got standards, and y'all view life on a whole nother level. And I thank God that I'm connected with y'all. You know, but I want to hit on like my outfit. So when I picked my outfit out, when I was picking it out, it was just like God was giving me messages, man. Like this hat, you know, I was thinking about NWA, the movement of NWA, and we got a lot of artists coming out of St. Louis, and they chasing a dream, but in reality, just like NWA, they was running into a trap. Money was getting took from them. They really wasn't a group containing, we not together, people was doing stuff on their own. So I just wanted to really speak on that, about the artists that's growing up, black artists too as well. You know what I'm saying? That's growing up that's really not educated on the business side. You know, they getting cheated out of their money, and that's why I wore this hat, because I just wanted to talk about the NWA movement and how they came about and how they adapted from being street guys to really like trying to make money and change for this music and send that message that we can make it out in spite of, you know, chasing a dream that in the end we gonna be trapped and money gonna be lost and all these type of things. If any of y'all got anything to expand on it, because this is just the first part of my outfit.
Well, thanks for having us here, man. I'm excited as well. But how I feel about the NWA movement, and the biggest thing is what we saw then, 30 years ago, we still dealing with now in 2020. So you still, like they had a hit record, F the Police. You still see the signs, F the police. You still see the riot. You still see the loot. You still see the police brutality. You still see the stereotypes. When we go into different communities, when we want to better ourselves and take our family out of these impoverished communities, when we go to the Ladus, the Clayton, the Chesterfields, when we go to the better communities, we still get stereotyped. We get pulled over. We get messed with. The police still get caught on us. So nothing has really changed. And that was 30, 40 years ago. And so this is awesome. I'm glad to be a part of this because I love to have these type of dialogues where it's a group of individuals that's like-minded, that's black, that's entrepreneurs, that's love their families, that's progressing and moving forward. So that's what I feel about it.
Yeah, and that's good. Anybody else got something before I move on?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, for sure. I think with the whole NWA movement and what we saw with them has taught us as artists, us as entrepreneurs, us as black men to be resilient. We aren't always educated on everything because we wasn't given the game, And so those guys had to go through and actually take some L's, take some losses, and actually figure out the game and actually turn that into a win. And so, you may be somebody who start off in the fitness industry. Shout out to my man H right here, or in the cooking industry, and you may not actually know the game, but what it actually showed me was that, okay, I'm gonna learn how to maneuver through this, and now I can be like a Dr. Dre.
That's good.
And now I can own beats and I can sell beats for, multi-millions, or I can be like Q, and see, now I know what's going on.
Now I can switch from just not being a rapper to writing movies, directing movies.
There you go.
And so now we're up in the game.
There
we
you go.
evolving, yeah.
I think the heart of the problem at the end of the day is just we all come from the same poverty-stricken neighborhoods. So at the end of the day, the people that's in power, it's a simple science to it. You give them just a little bit, you don't educate them to where they know what their rights are. And at the end of the day, it's kind of why we got 360 deals. Everybody thought 360 deal was the greatest thing.
Right.
Back
We
in the
never
day,
had nothing.
Absolutely.
Right,
So what
right.
happens is you take this little city kid who ain't never had nothing, who ain't come from nothing, you say, hey, here's a couple $100,000. Not realizing on the back end what that contract really means. So record labels back in the day, they only made money off of pure album sales.
Right.
That was what was sold in the record stores. Then as times changed with the internet, it's like, wait a minute. We ain't making no money with pure album sales, but this person is touring around the country making 4 times what we making.
Right.
Then they introduce a 360 deal, which screws you all over because now you can't perform, you can't do nothing now. But at the end of the day, man, I think that really learning how to structure your business, period, because you are a businessman even when you are a music artist. Learning how to structure your company and not rushing to grab that early bag because on the back end you can be getting bitten ass big time. So.
Right.
Yeah.
That's good. The next part of my outfit, I got this hoodie on, so I kind of want to hit on the Trayvon more, and I want to tie that into the Michael Brown situation because they go hand in hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's something that struck the nation, the country, in a whole totally different way. I just want to hit on that in a sense of like, why is this still going on, and could it stop?
Ooh, that's a good one. You talk all this.
Because, we black right now. All us drove to get here, right? We could get pulled over and it could be it for us.
Yeah.
And it don't matter who's saying they good cops or bad cops. That's the mentality that we have now because of them type of moments.
No matter how legit you are, you still just have that constant thought when a cop get behind you, I'm gonna make this right turn.
Yeah,
Because at the end of the
Facts,
day,
bro.
even if you are legit, you just don't want to have to deal with those problems of, getting pulled over and worrying about is a situation gonna happen. Like, am I gonna be able to go home to my family after this? And I think
Yeah.
that's something that it just hurts the most because as a black community, I don't think we feel like we're being heard.
Yeah.
You can cry, but when no true justice comes from anything, when no true result from the situation comes, it's like a slap in the face, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, so what do we do? How do we be heard, and I feel like that's what like, not to go back, but with NWA, I feel like with them, they didn't care about none of that. It was like, we want to be heard now, and even though we not putting positive things out, we tired of it.
Right.
So as a unit, like, what do we do to get the change that we need?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's facts. That's good.
Yeah,
man.
nice. And I think, you know, that all the time when you trying to get results or when you trying to get radical change, then my message is not always going to be positive.
Right.
You know, it's going to be some pushback.
Yeah.
It's going to be me saying some things that doesn't line up with the status quo, or I'm not politically correct. And so I just think about the trauma. Like, we talk about Tamir Rice, we talk about Trayvon, we talk about Michael Brown. Like,
Emmett Till.
like
just-
these are young boys. So we all men around the table.
Young
Right.
regular boys.
Young regular
Right.
boys.
Young regular
So
boys.
think about the trauma that we have faced since we were Tamir Rice age, since we were Michael Brown age,
Since we were Trayvon.
since we were Trayvon Martin
Even
age.
younger. Like when you was talking about getting pulled over, Ryan, like my sons, they get in fear. And they 2 and 10. Like they get in real fear when they see the cherries, the police lights. They hear the sound, like
That's
they
trauma.
daddy straighten up. And that's traumatic.
Right.
And if a 2-year-old can think like that, that lets me know this generational trauma that's came through DNA and not something he's just been learned or he's been exposed to.
And and think about it. It was a time where we wanted cop cars at the toy store. At the toy store.
Yeah.
Correct.
Where we wanted
Right.
cop cars, and
Right.
the lights would come on, and we'd be happy playing with it.
Mm-hmm.
Now a 2-year-old, like, I don't want to deal with the red and blue.
I don't think they sell them.
No, I don't see them as much. And remember, all the time, all the police toys was white guys, white faces. They trying to switch all that up now.
Yeah.
But to hit on your question, I don't think we ever gonna come out of this unless we understand what our power is. And when I say that, we got situations like Colin Kaepernick. When he took a knee by himself, he still had no power behind him because nobody really
Rallied with
locked
him.
in with him and said, hey,
Yeah.
guess what? And to this day, I feel like the entire NFL, all them black faces owe him an apology.
Because they kneeling
Absolutely.
now, and ain't nobody doing nothing about
And
it.
I stood on that.
He
That
can't even
man
get a
lost
job.
his
Absolutely.
salary,
He can't
his
even get a job.
Absolutely. Now look at what he did, and think about it. This is where we as black men got to take control and stand on what we believe in, even if nobody else stands with us at that moment. Because had he said, you know what, fine, you're right, I'm gonna stand up. Look at what everybody doing right now.
The NBA, the soccer
The
league,
NBA.
But what happened
MLB,
was the
everybody's
only
doing it.
reason why any of this is happening, and I believe this in my heart, is because you start messing with the advertising money.
You still mess with their money.
As soon as you say, hey, guess what? We're not playing today. NBA was almost there. The NFL is different because they got some guys up top who ain't really rocking with it, whether they say it or not. But everybody said, you know what? We're not playing. It's nothing you can do.
Right. And I'll take
Nothing you can do.
I'll take a
Money
step even
The
further.
money stops, and that's a radical thing.
Not
when you-
everybody got to go.
And even just take it a step further with Colin, like think about you speaking out on our regular jobs that we work at against it.
Yeah.
Would you lose your job?
Ooh.
That's setting the tone. If Colin can lose his job, if you feel a certain
making
way
millions.
about systemic racism, oppression, if you speak out on your job, in your mind, you're going to get fired. So you have to suppress your true emotion and your true feelings on what you really feel is right. And just be quiet like everybody else. And now I think it's time for us to be radical. I think we need to have more conversations like this. I think even on the higher level, the LeBron Jameses, the Kyrie Irvings, everybody, we need to find some way to get on the same page and invoke real change.
Right.
And it starts with messing with money.
Right.
That's tough.
I think about
That's good.
I think about the bus boycott. Where our community came together. You had churches, you had schools, you had
Industry leaders.
You had people with vans that say, okay, not only are we going to boycott the bus system, but we're going to create our own bus system, and we're going to make sure that we all still survive. And so on those levels, I think that real radical change comes from say, okay, you know what, we done with just walking off and we kneeling. But we're going to have a plan to create our own leagues. Now, this is not saying that, you know, we don't want whites or Asians or any other race. This is just saying that we want ownership and we're willing to do what we work for, put the money that we already have and start our own leagues.
That's good.
There it is, right there.
That's where that radical change comes from.
It came. That's not like Rosa Parks. They bankrupt the bus companies, and because they walk to work, they sacrifice the Negro League. As soon as the Negro League get popular and they start making money, here come.
Yeah.
I want to buy in. We want
I
to
even take it a
pay
step
out. And
further.
so
The PGA, when you think about the golf, a lot of us don't know this, but like you had like African American golfers who was winning PGA championships, and the thought behind it was they didn't let African Americans come golf at the golf clubs. And you still see it to this day. You see a golf club is you probably got 0.5% of the
club,
people, the club that's black.
Right.
And so black people created their own golf clubs and started bringing in all of the performers, and the white people was like, whoa, what's that over there? Then they wanted to integrate with us in the golf club.
That's where
and they never want to integrate. They want to come back out season conquer.
Right.
They never want to integrate.
Yeah, for sure.
And that take me to the bottom portion of my outfit. I got on some skinny jeans, and I got on some white forces, and
Black
exactly
forces.
what black forces. I'm sorry, black man tabletop. But look, though, I got on some black forces, and that take me like exactly what y'all talking about, ownership, but in a sense of us setting trend. We can't never forget that we are trendsetters. Like skinny jeans with Lil Wayne. That's what I wanted to hit on with Lil Wayne. Coming out with the skinny jeans and the skateboard wave that he had, people talk bad about him. It was a trend that he was setting for our culture. And when that happened, they bashed him. But now in reality, you see all of us wearing skinny jeans. You see bigger guys wearing skinny jeans.
It's true.
Right? But we overlooked that until it came to it manifest and said, okay, we can wear this.
I think that's who we are as black people. I
Even-
think that's our culture.
Before you start talking, even with the black and white forces, Nike, we made Nike a huge company. Don't get it twisted. So
We still are.
There you go, and we still is.
H Nike down right now.
Absolutely.
So
man. That's what we need a black
and that's why I wanted to hit on this, because we trendsetters and we got to learn how to support black-owned businesses. We have to go back and go spend that same $200 that you spent on your whole Nike outfit with somebody black-owned that do the same fitness. They got the same fitness gear.
Yeah.
Excuse me, but and even with the skinny jeans.
Yeah.
People who selling stuff black-owned, we have to support that. We so quick to go get the Gucci and a Louis and a Alexander McQueen's and a Nike and all these this nice wear, and nothing wrong with it. But we don't even support our own. You know what I'm saying? I think we really lack in that area, supporting our own.
There's so much that you said, and I'm gonna just touch on the boldness of Lil Wayne when you start talking about when he started rocking skinny jeans. Everybody laughed at, everybody talked. That's what we do initially when we don't understand. Anything that's new, anything that you don't understand, you frown upon, and then later on you see like, dang, that wasn't so bad. Yeah. Part two, what you said was when you start speaking about Nike and us supporting companies. Not only do we need to create companies, but we need to create manufacturers. Like we need to own manufacturing. We need to own our own. We need to own our own companies, our manufacture, our factories, so that now we're not going to sources to create what we have in our mind. Because we dope. We dope people. Like we creative, we talented. Like we are the culture. Like you see Japan, you see London, they dress like us, they got our swag and everything. So, but we need to figure out not only how to like wear it and look dope in it, but how can we be capitalists on this stuff?
I think we have always had a middleman.
Ooh.
Always had a middleman. Even when we were building, even when when like the country was built on slavery, right? We had a middleman, even though we were doing the work. And so what he's basically saying is we need to elevate our minds to the next level, and we watch Kanye's thing where he's just like, I'm gonna grow the cotton over there and I'm gonna have the people to go, we gonna get the cotton, we gonna sow, and then, I'm gonna own 100%.
They laughing at
of
him
the
now.
Yeezy brand.
They laughing at Ye now. Just like they did Lil Wayne. They laughed at him when he said, I need somebody to give me some money for these Yeezys. Everybody laughed. So his wife gave it to him. And now look at him. 100% owner of Kanye, right? And now, because he's 100% owner of the stuff that he manufacture and make, that makes him a billionaire. Once we start owning what we put out, because that's when we change the game.
And watch-
That's how we get free.
And watch this. We gotta be like the Master P's. He said, man, if this man will offer me $1 million for what I started,
Or you can walk away and get something.
come on,
Absolutely.
imagine how much
Absolutely.
I can
It's
make
worth
it like
it.
don't
it's
take
worth.
it.
So we
LeBron
gotta
did the
stop.
same exact
There you
thing,
go.
too.
We gotta stop
He
snatching out
turned
on the
down a $10
first.
million check from Reebok because he said, I feel like, what if Nike could offer me 30? What if Adidas can offer
It
me
is.
40?
Yeah.
And he turned down $10 million on the spot because he knew his own value.
That's right.
It's
That's
the
what
value.
I feel like
we
as black
place
people,
value.
we have to understand our own value.
Yeah.
We place value on the Gucci, the Louis Vuitton, the Alexander McQueen.
Yes.
That stuff holds no value. Somebody saw me in the Gucci belt and was like, oh man, you got that Gucci belt. I said, no, this Gucci belt got me. Because I know my value. This Gucci belt ain't nothing if I don't tie it around my waist.
There you go.
I don't know.
Right?
Have y'all ever read the book? There's a book. If you never get it, if you haven't, read the book, The Four Agreements. That's a very powerful book, and that book is based on, you know, the things how we operate based on what we all have agreed upon. So we agree what the number one is, what the number two is.
Right.
But as a society, not only were we taught and programmed, but we have agreed collectively that when you wear Louis Vuitton, you have money. We have programmed that when you go buy Air Max and shoes, that you have money. But we have
Trying to
agreed on
portray
all
an
the
image.
wrong things and not really agreeing on what really matters, as opposed to saying, hey, let's agree that we are creating this industry, this music industry, we are the talents.
Right.
Let's agree that we don't own it, and let's agree to step away from it. Let's agree to build.
But that's why I think Nipsey was so powerful though, because he understood, I don't want to just make music, I want to own all the everything to my music.
Publishing the rights 100%.
And that's why, you know, God forbid, you know, his passing, but his estate, it owes like so much value because he owns everything.
Yeah.
His clothing line, he owns everything.
Floyd did it, bought himself out. Jay did it, bought himself out.
But why do
Yeah.
y'all think, let me ask y'all this, why do y'all think that when our people, like black people especially, when they get the billions, when they get success, when they find out the real formulas, they paint them as crazy. Everybody want to paint Kanye as crazy. Everybody want to paint Floyd Mayweather as he's just a stunner.
Dave
He's
Chappelle.
bold, Dave Chappelle crazy. Everybody, and we believe it. Our own people believe it. Why do y'all think that is? When they already have an proven formula to be successful.
For me, I think it's because we programmed from birth to sit in front of the TV, and what you see in front of the TV, that's what you hear, that's what you believe, all the way to the point where we kids, 5 and 6 years old, and we think that Mickey Mouse is real. We think that Santa Claus is real. And so everything that comes across the media, you automatically program it as
It's
truth.
truth.
And so, but watch this too, it gets deeper than that. We have saw those guys operating in that realm of television, and we seen them operating in, they were living out the narrative, and we accepted what they were living out as truth for so long. So when they try to step out of it, they've been operating in it so long
Right.
to where the point,
It's
the
abnormal
media, Hollywood, the industry already control your narrative.
Right.
And so you get out of it and you screaming, oh no, this is me. But the world is already programmed to believe that the narrative that you was already living is truth in our eyes. And then you get some of the people who gets older and mature enough, right? Because it takes for you to grow and mature and to develop and come out of some things to say, okay, now I can see. But when you 16, 17, 18 years old, 14, 15, you're not mature enough to make that decision to say the first 15 years of my life, that's not true. It is until you get our age to where the point you can step out of
That's
it.
true.
And some people never recover from that.
What you think, H?
You know, again, it all comes back to what we all have agreed upon. You know, and when we all wake up and say, hey, this black man did not do something to another black man to get rich. That's just another rumor that we created.
Yeah.
We have this thing going around us that, well, this person got millions of dollars because he had to come up through the chain by doing something with these other people. And it's like, I don't believe white people created them rumors. You know, that's us saying what's the reason why this person is up there. And instead of us really humbling ourselves and say, hey, you know what, let me get alongside of this person to learn, and let me ask, how did you? Even on my Instagram page, when I do so, I say, hey, you know what, we all can do this. Because we need to start understanding that we gotta start sharing this knowledge. Gotta start sharing.
Yes.
And the worst thing you can do is see somebody doing well and hate, or have so much pride to where you can't say, hey, I don't know. Can you show me? You know, but we gotta get out of
gotta
it.
become vulnerable though.
That's it.
So let's
Vulnerable. Black men don't know how to be vulnerable.
That right there. That's a whole other topic. That's a whole other topic.
We want to spend this.
Yeah, but let's spin this conversation a little bit. I think we got what we wanted out of it. Let's talk about all us fathers at this table. Let's talk about the fatherhood. Let's talk about just being a father, you know, and being black too at the same time. It's stuff that we face that some white fathers don't never see in a lifetime. You know, I got 2 kids, and I know it was a struggle, you know, because of our forefathers and stuff, and people who was conformed to this world, and I think that's why, like, I think that's when God called us, or when God, you know, sent out a specific work for us, we be uncomfortable because we conformed. And I think being a father, you get conformed within a system just to take care of your kids. But in reality, we shouldn't be like that.
Right. I looked at my babies yesterday, man, and I saw my daughters, and I was just thinking, I'm like, y'all have no idea what this world is out here to do to y'all. You know, you got 2 little girls there, and it's like, it's an uphill climb for a black woman. I work around black women. And I just looked at them, I'm like, I pray that this fight, we fighting for racial justice and the oppression and just the unfair treatment of us all, it ends. I don't want my daughters to have to fight this fight, but the reality is they are. You know, so
We almost got to train them.
you have to prepare them, because this is not going to end with us. You can see it right now. It's a lot of denial going on both ends. Yeah, it's not even close. So I prepared myself to explain to my daughter why she would be identified as black. Like, think about that. She don't know it. She don't know she's going to be called black.
Right.
I have to explain that to her, why she's going to be called black.
Yeah.
You know, and stuff like that, and why does she? It's okay to understand and know that you can be just as strong as a man, you know, in the work field, and it's going to be a lot of unfair treatments, a lot of fake smiles and stuff like that. But I don't want my babies to have to fight this fight, but I have to train them to be able to fight it, you know, because it's coming.
Yeah. For me, man, when you talk about fatherhood, it's the absolute greatest joy that I've experienced in my life. Like, I've never experienced the love outside of my mom, of course, right? But when I have both my boys at the same time, and we just out, just doing regular life, we going out to eat, we at the movies, we just doing whatever. When I have them, I'm at my best. I'm complete. Like, nothing else like matters. I'm telling you, it's so satisfying and rewarding to know that, hey man, God entrusted me with 2 beautiful souls, right? And so when I think about fatherhood, man, I just think about the joy that it brings.
Right.
Outside of everything else that we can talk about, right? But just my relationships, seeing how my life impact them dramatically, seeing how they soak everything up like a sponge, it kind of keeps me rounded. And now I can't say certain stuff. Now I can't live a certain life, right? And so, man, it caused me to be the black man that I am at the Black Man Table Talk. My sons. Before DJ came, I was reckless, man. Like, my coaches called me like, man, you still alive? Like, that's just what it was. But when DJ came, I was 21, and I think I had him prematurely, but everything happens for a reason, right? And so, man, just being a father is just amazing. And I come from an amazing father, so I think it just trickled down. And so as all of us continue to be in our son's life and leave legacy and pour into them, they become better fathers. And we destroy the negative narrative of black men don't father, black men don't lead.
And to spin it off of you, my father, he didn't have all the money and all that, you know, but he had all the time. He put all the time in, and I think that was a good key piece for me to take with me with his past and rest in peace dad, you know, because it made me better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got siblings that's not too good in that area.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
at the same time, it made me better because he didn't have to have all the money.
Yeah.
And that's even me too. I take care of my kids. I look out for them. I make sure they got everything that they need.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, me doing something with them or for them don't matter.
Right.
I'm here.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And it's
Yeah.
times where dreams say, "What we doing today?" And I'm like, "We're not doing nothing.
Right.
I want to be with y'all. Let's just chill. Let's just
Right.
watch movies." You know, and
I want to be present.
There you go.
with
I want
you.
to just be present
Yeah.
with you, and I want to put that time that my dad put in with us, even though he didn't have
Yeah.
money.
Can I pose this question, fellas? Is it okay to understand that you can learn being a father? You're learning as you're going. Is that a real thing? Because most of us want to like act like we got it all together. Like, oh, I got this. You being a new father, right?
Yeah, I definitely didn't have it together.
Yeah.
Just the whole, I mean, because when they first born, it's like a challenge. It's like you got to learn to, you know, change them, to feed them, and it's like just like what you said earlier, man. You just really want to instill those good things into them. Like, and my son, I love my son to death. You know what I'm saying? I got one on the way.
He bubbly.
It's no greater thing, bro. Like just waking up, you know what I'm saying, and seeing my son, it makes my day that much better, bro.
Yeah.
And it's like with everything that's going on, like I don't understand how people don't, you know what I'm saying, care about their kids in a sense.
Yeah.
But, you know, all I can do is, you know, care for mine and just really embrace that time. Cause like you said, bro, time, you can't purchase time.
You're my provider. You're my caregiver. Like, you know, you my comforter when I need it. And so
My protector.
with my protector, and I believe that God ordained it to be that way. You know, even when we talk about, you know, the present, you know, I believe that, you know, when God created man, right, the first thing he blessed the man with was his presence.
Yeah.
You know, like, and he let us know that, look, behold, I am with you always, even to the end of the earth.
Right.
And so as fathers, we have to really make that our priority to say, you know what, I'm going to be present, right? Even if I got to sacrifice some other things, right?
That's tough.
That's
Right.
the key word though,
Sacrifice.
Right.
Think about God said, okay, you may lack in this area. You may not have, you know, this. You may not have that. But one thing you will have is my presence.
Right.
One thing you will have is my presence. And so much to what the point, like I'm going to put my spirit on the inside of you to make sure that you know that I'm on the inside of you, that I will never leave you. And so the mentality has to be the black man's mentality that with my kids, I'm not gonna never leave you, no matter how down bad you get, no matter how far you go, daddy is gonna be here
No
for
matter
you.
the obstacles.
No matter the obstacles.
Yeah, I mean, I had a real situation. Like, me and the mother of my child, you know, we didn't work out. We was young, and so of course she did some things, I did some things, and I fought for my child.
Yeah.
Like, I went to the court system. I hired an
Talk
attorney.
about
I paid $1,600 for the retainer's fee.
Yeah.
Like, and I fought, and the judge like this one, I really knew that the system was stacked against us. Like, I would walk in and see like Caucasian people, Mexican, they would get like little slaps on the wrist. When I walked up there and the judge, you got to do this, this, this. I would go do this, this, and this because now I'm sacrificing. I'm
It don't
jumping
matter.
over
It
every
don't
hurdle
matter.
because this is my son, right?
Right.
She would give me a list, I would complete it. Go back, she would give me another list, I would complete it. Whatever I needed to do. It wasn't about me and his mother. It wasn't about no money. It wasn't about no insurance. It wasn't about no school. I didn't care. I wanted to be with my son, and I think we need to have that relentless attitude when it comes to being fathers.
Yeah, like you didn't go, you know, buy a $10,000 car when it was time to fight for your son. You know, like no, stop spending $2,500 on rims and cars and spend $2,500 on their lawyer because your heart should burn towards your child.
Right.
And so that's what I look like. Your heart has to burn towards them, and you got to be willing to do whatever, because the truth of the matter is, what they see in you is what they will become. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
The clearer our picture is of God,
100%.
the more we become like Him.
Yeah.
What you don't know, you cannot become.
Right.
And so the clear picture that your son or your daughter see of you, that's what they will become. And that's why, when we start talking about, systematically, and they didn't want us present in our homes, and they'll offer our women food stamps and government assistance and
To get you out, he can't live here.
But that man can't live there.
We're gonna give you Section 8. Your rent gonna be $12.
That man
but
can't live there.
your kids are gonna suffer because that man is not there.
So what do y'all think about child support then?
It's a systematic oppression. But I do feel like certain people need to be on child support. Let's start there. Let's start there. Let's start there. Let me not speak too fast. But
Right.
I do believe it was a system in place. They start creating those systems right after slavery. That stuff became, and it was for us. It wasn't for any other race. So that's when I say it's systematic against us. But some people need it.
On me.
Some people need it. I got a ton of homegirls that fathers nowhere in the picture, that's cool with living a comfortable life, and they out here living their life, they out here stunned, they taking care of other people's kids, but they're not even supporting their own seed. So absolutely, those type of guys, those deadbeat guys, they need to be on child support.
And that's what I want to speak on. Let's speak about the guys because
What about Dr. Dre in his situation? What do you think about the limit?
What you mean
So,
the limit?
Prime example, she's looking to get $2 million a month
Oh,
for
yeah,
child support. She's
yeah.
trying
I
to,
see.
okay?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not trying to take over, but I'm just saying, yes, I totally agree that there are men who need to have child support put on them, and women as well. What's the limit on that?
And women as well.
So is it supporting the child? And I know people who've been put in a situation where they say, oh, wait a minute. I don't mind paying this, but do we really need to pay $5,000 and $6,000 or $2 million to support the child? Where's the line drawn for that?
But the law vary different states, and they always consider lifestyle.
Yeah.
So if you live in $2 million a month lifestyle, then they will grant you that. So it just depends on the lifestyle. Of course, me and you ain't paying $2 million a month, but Dre, he a billionaire. She's accustomed to this lifestyle, and they've been married for so
She was
long.
asking for
But I think
$200,000
that's
a month in
ridiculous.
entertainment fees alone.
Yeah, I think that's ridiculous.
So yes,
So what y'all think
That's a
about the
bit
guys-
much.
come on, man.
So what about the guys that don't deserve child support? That's on child support.
Better fight.
We gotta
And
stop.
that's what it really comes down to.
Yeah.
You gotta
Fight.
handle your business.
Yeah, we have to stop looking at handling business like it's somebody trying to do something to us. Like if
That's your responsibility.
Right,
Yeah,
it's
but
like
what
you
I'm-
gotta pay for insurance.
But where I'm trying to go with this is, it's like the women, come on now, like if I'm doing what I need to do, taking care of my child, why are you even putting this black man through this, right? Why
Some
you
women
even putting us
should
through
put it
this?
on the man. However, there are some scenarios where the person is being vindictive.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and we're using child support
Right.
as Phil.
What type of
Phil relationship stimulus package.
He using words like Jada Pinkett Smith.
Right.
No, we ain't speaking on that
What are
conversation. I was just saying. You
Oh,
said
no,
what was the word
that's
you
a
said? Vindictive.
So no, it's the bitterness. The bitterness that we didn't work, and I don't care how much you do.
Right.
I want to have something that's gonna sting you.
Yeah.
And the quickest way to sting a man is to hit his
Hit his
pocket.
pocket.
And my point exactly is
Men
like I'm
doing
trying to
it.
fix my mind.
Men, we do it just in different strategies, different ways.
Well, you can't fix your mind.
When a
man.
woman
No,
leave you,
we-
and you
we-
want her, we do
we-
certain
we-
stuff too.
The men that's actually doing what they need to do, right? I'm saying like we the men that God has called to
You talking about good father.
to change things
Right.
and to impact people and to try to be stand up men.
Yeah.
Where do you see that in us and say, I can't do that to that black man? Or do we
Well,
even
Good luck.
Life changing. You have to take the ball out of their court and understand that you going to get your kids, taking them to McDonald's and spending time with them, that's not the language of the courts.
No.
It's black and white. They need medical insurance.
They need housing.
They need housing. If you can provide this black and white,
I'm
sir,
mad, man.
if you can, but
I
that's
ain't
the
no
business you
child
gotta
support.
handle.
But that's women being emotional too.
Yeah. That's really why.
Most of the times when you're a good stand-up father, they may do that at the beginning because they emotional. But then most of the time, if they good, level-headed thinking women, they strong, they'll back off that anyway because it's fresh. right? Like, so I don't know, man. I don't think no good father that's present, that's there, that's providing should be placed on it. But if you are, you gotta go handle your business. I had to go handle your business,
Bruh.
bruh.
So before we wrap this up, is there anything that anybody want to get off their chest in terms of being a black man, being a black father, in terms of what's going on in this country, in terms of anything, sending a message to anybody that heard this?
You don't have enough film to meet for me to get everything off. Like,
Oh, we're like part two.
Yeah, me personally, I feel like it starts with the youth, bro. Like, I feel like we need more things like this that young men, 13 and up can look at and be like, I want to be like them when I get older.
It's
You
true.
know what I'm saying?
That's
Like,
good.
It's true.
because if you look at it, the youth, when they grow, they're going to be the ones taking care of us. But if they don't have no dreams, no
Not
aspirations,
educated.
you know what I'm saying? Everything is about a rap style life or, you know what I'm saying, an athlete life, then we in trouble.
Right.
So I feel like it starts with the youth.
Yeah. What I want to get off my chest, and not really get off my chest, what I want to do is implore and encourage people to, and black men, like, let's come together. Let's at least start here. When I see you in the street, in the mall, let's just say, what's up? How you doing, bro? Like, the pride and the ego and the tough, the hard stuff that we were taught, like, let's start there, and then maybe more conversations like this can be sprouted from there, because now I don't look at you as a threat when you open your mouth and say, hey, bro, how you doing today? You see what I'm saying?
That shouldn't even be a problem, man. And I don't understand why as a community, we can't just say what's up. Bro.
Exactly.
Like it's always animosity. It's like,
I gotta put on my tough because I don't know what angle. But if you speak, it breaks that thought. Like, oh, you're a cool dude. And so starting there, speaking, having conversations, working together, networking, building something that's strong and valuable and sustainable for our kids, for our women, protecting our women. Let's start setting standards there, and then, like, because I believe everything starts in the house. And so if we can say, let's respect our women, let's respect our children, let's get back to core family values, then I think everything else can fall in place.
I agree.
I got something I want to get off my chest.
Oh,
I mean
shit,
it.
man.
I'm gonna say this, but we as black men have to start embracing black women like they embrace us.
That's good.
And I cannot, and I will not go into details just because we don't have that much camera time, but I work with so many women. It's just unbelievable the quality of women that's out here looking for a good man. And to look at this whole thing just from a broad spectrum, we're not doing enough as black men for these black women. And as black men, when you get with that woman, you gotta learn how to level her up. And I mean that, like, you gotta start communicating with her. It's too many black women out here screaming and shouting on our behalf, and we're not doing the same thing. I see it all day long.
It's true.
You see more black women running the streets, yelling for our rights and our freedoms and stuff, and you see us just parlaying.
Yeah, they leading the movement.
Just chilling, and really just getting back to what does it mean to be the man in a relationship. And I ain't finna touch on what it means to be a woman. That ain't my job. They ain't finna give me like that.
Right.
But
Speak on it.
from the perspective of a man, we really have to understand what that is. And if you don't know, ask somebody.
Right.
I'm around way too many women with the same stories, and it's like, what I will say is, and I'm not giving us an excuse because I said this last week to some women. If you don't have a father at home, then we kind of just learn it by default. We mess up,
You learning as you
bump
go.
our head, learn as you go.
On the job
But
training.
very few of us have somebody said, this is how it's supposed to be done in X, Y, and Z. A lot of black men, not all of them, a lot of black men don't really mature until after 35. If that. So we still, I just grasped the importance of credit like 2-3 years ago. So my mom, I love her to death, but she'd tell you, like, we had other things we was worried about where we grew up at, didn't worry about for credit.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You can't take credit to the grave, which we trying to survive out here.
Right.
But I don't want to go off into that. But as black men, we've got to start embracing these black women.
That's good.
We're not doing enough out here.
That's good.
Agreed.
Yeah. For me, I want us as black men to expand our minds past this country, you know, and take the limits off where God can send you. You know, like, don't be afraid to move your family out of this country. You know, like, there's certain things that we talk about that this country has been built up on, and there's certain things that, you know, we think will never change, and we can go elsewhere. We looked at Stephon Marbury and how the NBA and how the media painted him, and he took his talents to another country, and now the man got a statue in another country. He found his peace, he found his liberty, he found true love and compassion and family, you know what I'm saying? That's where. And so a lot of us have to, you know, stop thinking that we have to stay in America. You know, there's places where there's other people of color, where they're willing to embrace you, and they're willing to, you know, where the system is not stacked up against us. And so, you know, I want us to be able to say, you know, if I have to move to, you know, Central America, if I have to move, you know, to the eastern parts of the world, or to the northern part, wherever, you know, that we can do that, and we can make
Thrive.
we can thrive
Yeah,
and
that's
build
right.
our
That's
families
true.
and build our kingdom there. And I don't understand that we don't have to sit here and fight forever. You know, so don't live in fear. You know,
Yeah.
freedom could be an 8-hour plane
That's tough.
ride. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and we can do that.
Yeah, that's good.
Don't live it.
Something that I want to touch back on was about the child support, but I want to give some type of advice or encouragement.
Bro, you on child support, bro?
I already stated that I wasn't, but I want to encourage the men who not paying who own child support. That's just not paying child support. They're just not paying it or running from it or ducking from it. Fellas, pay child support. If you know, even if you it was in a bad place in your life or whatever, and you couldn't pay it and it's back pay or whatever, get on your feet, walk in a straight line, pay a little bit at a time, but start paying it, because you on child support, and it's for various reasons. But I'm talking to the guys that's on child support that should be on child support, and now it's time to change your mind and say, I want to take care of this situation. So I just want to encourage y'all, man, to just stand up as a black man, as a man in whole, and pay child support if you own her and you know that you dropped the ball in the past, or you dropped the ball in certain areas of your life where you couldn't pay it, went to jail or whatever the case may be. Get back out, start doing the right thing, get you a job, 2 or 3 jobs if that's what you have to do, and pay the child support and start paying on it. And I think that'll just build a man, period. Just conquering them type of things, because sometimes we just face them type of things and just run for it for our whole life and never even really look that thing in the mirror and say, we about to fight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I just wanted to encourage, because I know we kind of went past that.
Yeah.
We're talking about other things in regards of the child support. But yeah, man, all you guys are great men of God. You know what I'm saying? God created you for a reason. You know what I'm saying? You on earth for a reason. And y'all doing great things, man. Y'all doing great things. Y'all all take care of y'all kids. Y'all put y'all kids out publicly. Everybody get a chance to see y'all lifestyle that y'all don't have to show. And behind closed doors, I see it. I see all the work y'all doing. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate that child in my life. And before we wrap it up, man, I just want to say, man, keep doing what y'all doing. You know what I'm saying? Keep being strong black men. You know what I'm saying? And stand on your feet. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, remember who you are. Remember that God created you, and God created you in His own image, and you strong, and you know what I'm saying? You a hero.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what it is.
Thanks, bro.
You know,
Appreciate it, man.
That's right.
and that's why I wanted to do this Black Man Table Talk, because I wanted to send a message to our culture, even if 5 people see it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody have to see this. Somebody have to start talking where we come from. None of us are celebrities. None of us on the LeBron stages and the Denzel Washington stages. But we is at a stage where we can impact people that's around us.
Yeah.
You know? So this Speak On It, this season 2, episode 1. I got all my guys here. They were black today for me. You know what I'm saying? hey, we gonna have to do this again, man, because it's more to this. This is way more to this,
Sure
man.
is.
You gotta do a little like a mid-season
Right.
table talk or something
Yeah,
like that.
so I want to talk about sex. I want to talk about.
Come on, listen,
All that.
Tune in to the next one. This Speak On It. I'm the host, Life Changer. We out. So was you at the point where you was already signed to Atlantic?
This was before. This was like
Okay,
on the verge.
okay, all
Because
right.
I went to, it was like, and this was before 360 did, so it was like really a big deal because I'm going between, I went right up to Def Jam, right up to Capitol, right up
Okay.
to Atlantic, you know, going in through Tarboy, because he was, he placed, he platinum, all that, so he just walking me right in. And I know L.A. Reid, he brought me in the office, and it was like kind of precious because he invited all the women in the office into his office, like called all them in there, and then like just like out of a movie, I'm standing in the room and I hear like the laugh, and I'm like, no. And Jay-Z hit the corner and come in there and like talk to me and my mom, and like, yeah, like he stayed in there while performing and everything. It was like, yeah, like I'm like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, I got like little stories like that around the way. But ultimately, since I didn't know nothing about the business, when it came to a halt, everything was at a halt. So it was like by the time I was probably like 16, 17,